St. Vincent de Paul is for sure the 21st century global saint. The proof is the Vincentian Family, a global spiritual family, a global movement, which includes 225 branches in 156 countries, having more than 2 million members. St. Vincent was a revolutionary saint. He is the patron saint of all works of charity.
Su visión consistió en dos cosas: ponerse al lado de los más pobres y abandonados de la sociedad y renovar la iglesia.
La misión de San Vicente fue acercar a Dios a muchas personas que no lo conocían.
Vincent, when he began his work 400 years ago, knew that he could achieve nothing on his own, that everything was about collaboration, everything was about involving other people. Hence his formation of the Congregation of the Mission, the Vincentian Fathers, the order that we see today. But beyond that, he also realised he needed women in that mission. And so we had the Daughters of Charity as Vincent de Paul that came alongside, nursing, teaching, assisting Vincent with all of his works in those early days.
La mayoría de los miembros de la familia Vincentino son laicos, son mujeres que con su trabajo extienden por todo el mundo el reino de Dios.
It's extraordinary to think that 400 years ago we have the birth of a charism and a movement that's now extended to over 2 million active members around the world working for the poor. The Vincentian tradition has always been one that's sought to evangelise, and in this case to evangelise the poor. That was one of Vincent's very early ministries. But we are here to bring home the gospel message of caring for the poor, of caring for the strangers in our midst. And in that sense, the work that we do as Vincentians is a witness to the power of God to intervene in people's lives and to make those lives better.
The Vincentian family is really working worldwide to eradicate 3 different forms of homelessness. The first one is obvious to us, which is the people who are out on the street or people who are living in shelters around the world.
We also have an enormous range of services for homeless people provided by the Vincentian family. Everything from outreach services to night shelters for people who are there on the streets, right the way through to hostels specialising in mental health problems, people with maybe drug and addiction problems as well.
The second population are those that are refugees, those that are displaced from their natural country to another country that has graciously opened their doors to accept them.
In fact, one of our proudest traditions is this idea of welcoming the stranger.
The third population is those that are living in substandard housing, which are favelas. They're set up to live in housing that was never originally designed for long-term sustainability.
On top of that, we have a great tradition as well of helping to improve the conditions of housing. So for slum dwellers and people living in favelas, the investment in rehousing of families in those situations, improving sanitation, or in some cases helping them to break the cycle of poor housing by providing them with access to education grants for their children, to make the difference in the longer term of breaking the intergenerational poverties that lead to homelessness. Given the fact that there's this great tradition within the Vincentian family of working with the homeless over the past 400 years, what is the Famvin Homeless Alliance trying to do? Well, there are a few things we're trying to do. We're trying to ensure that the best practice that we built around the world is actually shared amongst us. So how can we do better what we do? How can we learn from each other? The second thing we're trying to do is we hope to build on that experience to develop new and exciting projects, and the 13 houses initiative is one example of how we can take a common goal of trying to house 10,000 people and then apply it locally. A new momentum, a new way of thinking about the power of our movement to do things at a global level. And the third thing we're trying to do is around systemic change. We've already seen examples of how the Famvin Homeless Alliance has been active within the church and within Catholic social teaching to develop new ways of thinking about homelessness and try to encourage action on the ground at a parish level. And most recently, our work within the United Nations, where the Vincentian Family at the UN have worked together with the Institute of Global Homelessness and with De Paul International and with other partners in order to create the first ever resolution on street homelessness through the UN, which actually mandates for the first time that we will have a definition of what homelessness means globally, that we will have a commitment to measure that homelessness and a pledge to build more affordable housing on the back of those two things. It's a tremendous achievement by the Vincentian family and one we should be very proud of. And what I'm hoping is that in time this will lead in 2030, when the Sustainable Development Goals are re-engineered, to a specific measurable target to reduce or even end homelessness around the world.
Everybody could go out on the street today and just have a conversation with the homeless people. Often homeless people on the streets have had no attention and nobody talking to them for days on end. So we can really build their dignity and we can fulfill our mission as Vincentians just by going out and having that conversation with them and making them feel good about themselves.
Then see if Vincent's wisdom can help you in this and if we can serve them together. I hope we can.